So this is my front roll that I did for my 2017 WR250R. I'm kind of a big fan of the front roll. I mean, I use it for bike packing, and I really wanted to do it on my motorcycle. And I don't like having a whole lot of stuff in the back. Usually I've tried putting duffel bags back here and gas tanks and all kinds of stuff, and I always hit my butt when I'm starting to do really steep descents and I need to get my weight all the way back. So I really try to keep this area clear. Instead I go for these, I've got the Wolfman Enduro side bags that I kind of like. I like where they fit and how non-intrusive they are, but I don't like what I can fit inside of them. But anyway, so for this video, it's the front roll, and in the front roll I have my bivy, which is it's kind of a structured bivy or one-man tent. It's a long, elongated, and I've got a thermarest and a down sleeping bag. And basically what I do is I flatten them all out and then just roll them up with the poles and everything inside of them, and then stick them in this, I forgot what this thing is called. It's made in Alaska and it's made for bike packing. I'll put the name if I find this part on the video when I make it later. Anyway, I stuff them all in there and it stays dry. It's got the dry bag ends. I think it has a hole in it that I made from somewhere. So the WR250R comes with, over here on the triple tree mounts, there's a little bracket for a reflector. So there's one on each side, and so I remove them, and I have this mounting point. So I had this 3/4 inch stock aluminum lying around, and what I did was I made it about 1 foot, let's do it this way, 1 foot this way by 1 foot that way and 1 foot that way. So it's basically a square. And then I got this, I think this is 1 inch webbing. So I got it down at my local climbing store. They have buckets of old climbing rope and stuff, and so I just picked up a few feet of webbing and I stick it inside, and it makes kind of a nice thing. Oh yeah, this is about a 1 inch radius here. Don't make a sharp end on a vise because that's going to weaken the metal. So make it a nice smooth angle if you do this. And the holes right there, I put some let me change the angle for you. All right, so I got these are just 1/4-20. They should be metric because all my tools on the bike are metric. But the problem is I bought these knobs at the hardware store, and I couldn't find metric versions of the knobs. I could only find 1/4-20 versions. Here they are. Here, I'll show you. So it's important to put a lock washer on here because these things will fall out and you don't want it falling out on the highway. All right, so that's about it, right? Just that. I'll tighten them up for you here. Right about there. And so what I want to do is I've got some straps, and I want to make a little hammock so the roll can fit in there. And so what I do for that is let's go right there. All right, so what I do is my first strap, bring it in. Let's see, where do I do that? Oh, I do this one right here. I use the bark buster like things. Oops. I like all my I like all the buckles to be on the top here, facing out. There we go. And then I give it a little twist here, which is not important. And if I were 100% sure that I would only ever use these straps for here, I would shorten them, but I'm not. So that's what I got. When I push, it kind of tightens, the rack tightens up a little bit. So the more downward pressure I put, the more this thing wants to go close to the headlight, the fairing there. And then the other side, repeat procedure. And this only takes, you know, just a couple minutes. So my goal was to like go out on the highway and camp, set up a base camp somewhere, take all this shit off, and go out and ride. Today I was kind of, it's not that important, but it's good to have about equal tension. So that's about it. And then I got this, and this is kind of just a safety. I don't want these things to slide down the bottom there like that. And if I were making a commercial product out of this, I would probably sew permanent straps on here and have a nice little hammock that everything rests on. Which I probably should. It's a good idea to get the straps out of the way because they're going to be a pain in the butt later to try to fix. I usually just do like a necktie. Just spin it around twice and then chase the end through the holes or through the wraps. There we go. This one I don't like, it's too much. Anyways, if I like it, I'll probably make a better version of this, but that's pretty much it. Maybe that should be over here. That's okay. All right, so the next. All right, so the roll. This is the roll here. It's not too particular how you do it. I end up with a whole bunch of shit blowing around in the wind. I'm gonna have to fix that because I don't like. There we go. So it's got a bunch of straps that I never really figured out, but I don't really need them. So the first ones that we do, let me back up. All right, so you can see that it fits pretty snugly there. I just bring it up through here. So the purpose of these black ones is just to pull it down, to kind of keep it from bouncing around. And I don't do it too tight at first. This is all just so brain dead simple. I don't know why I'm explaining everything to you, but anyway, maybe it is useful to somebody. Anyway, also I like to have the straps in the same direction, and I usually like to there. So anyway, so that's already looking pretty good there. And then to make it even better, I put the straps on that these ones I like to go through the handlebar. And these ones, the intention of these ones are to pull it tight up against the everything, the handlebars and stuff. I might have done this one a little bit different. Oops, the microphone. Make sure your microphone cable's not in there. All right. It's very snug. I'll show you some video of me doing some pretty gnarly trails with it. I'm going to take it off here. You can see that the cockpit's still visible. I can still see my turn signal flashers. I'm out of gas. From this view, you got to stand up pretty tall to see the front fender. Usually when I'm standing up on the pegs, I can see the front fender, so it's not a big deal. It just takes a little longer. Up front, there's still, right here is the full headlight, and of course down there. The turn signals, that's about the only thing that kind of sacrifices there, the front turn signals. So use at your own risk. You can probably just pull the turn signals down a little bit if you needed to. Oh yeah, the other thing is the brake cable. Make sure that's free. You can see that it doesn't interfere with it. It can still go up and down with your shock. This whole thing is still free to go up and down. I might have it a little bit too tight right now, but it's not that big of a deal. So anyway, there you go. That's it. Thanks for watching.